The class of 81 is going out in style, and they're having the time of their life.
You want burgers, hot dogs, some chicken, and ribs. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Okay, so do you think if I got myself a shitty toupee, like the teacher in today's episode, if I got a shitty toupee and played piano, do you think I'd have as many groupies as this guy does?
Probably not.
Like, what? We'll get to it, but what is that? This teacher is getting tail left and right, and he's not even the hot one. He's not even the hot one. But okay, anyway.
It's probably we'll go into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. I'm sorry, you guys. I had to go. And today's episode is over a very fun film. But welcome to Night of the Horror File, a horror movie and genre film podcast where we take a horror movie and genre film and show it to my beautiful wife, Brittany, who gives us her input. Sometimes she enjoys these things. Sometimes she absolutely just shits all over them. And we respect her for it.
Sorry. Sorry for shitting on your favorite movies.
Nah. See the whole thing about this show, you know, the underlining point is that people can get along whether they have differing opinions over things. Now, if we can just tell that to the people on Twitter. Anyway. Anywho, before I go into an old man rant about social media.
Oh my gosh.
It's Troma Month. That's the fireworks. Yeah, all right. Anyway, it's Troma Month. And that's right. April is Troma Month. Every April we celebrate trauma and all We celebrate. We masturbate it. We just do all sorts of things for trauma this month. It's very fun. Each of our episodes coincides with a trauma movie, whether it be produced by them, made by them, or just released by them. In the case of most of these movies this month, these are the horror releases. This is kind of the horror release month, except for The Good Exorcist. I just had to throw that in there at the beginning, which, by the way, if you're just jumping in, go back and check out episode 1 of Troma Month, which was The Good Exorcist, a very independent film that we enjoyed highlighting.
But you know why we do Troma Month
why
in April?
Why do we do Troma Month in April?
Because it's your birthday.
It is my birthday. And
Happy birthday to you.
I'm getting old. I hate getting older.
Happy birthday to you.
I don't know what it is. It's like every year I feel more and more like a failure.
You're still young, baby.
It's true. I'm only 35. I guess that's something. I don't know. I know one thing, man. You got to watch yourself. You can't be turning your neck real fast. That'll hurt you.
You can't sleep wrong for 5 minutes.
You can't sleep wrong. You can't get up too fast.
No.
Get up too fast and you might pull a little something. Might have to deal with that all day. But anyway, this is not the podcast about bitching about getting old because most of you are under 18 for some reason.
Weird. Go do your homework or something.
You're right. It's so weird. So weird. We have a young audience. Like we're not. I feel like I'm not a young person. I don't know. Anyway. So sit down, youngins. We're gonna teach you about a movie.
We're gonna learn.
We're gonna talk about a movie today, and it being at Troma Month. What movie did we watch this week?
Graduation Day.
Graduation Day from 1981. Didn't actually start as a Troma movie. It was more they got the rights to it to release it on physical media. And so like that's where it comes to us today. So okay, slashers is what we're talking about today. We're traveling back to the 80s, you know. Directed by Herb Fried, today's movie isn't the most unique title. In fact, it came out in 1981 when the slasher films were being cranked out like 2 a week. I mean, this is about the time you're getting Friday the 13th or Halloween Part 2. I think Friday the 13th Part 2 is coming out too. You're getting fucking just My Bloody Valentine around this time too. So many slashers are being pumped out. And I believe this one I feel like should have been kind of up there with some of those, even though it's not. I feel like it should have been because like it's really good.
It's really
surprisingly good. In fact, we've asked the question why some horror fans seem to obsess about the 1980s. We've kind of discussed that, like how people obsess about certain genre, like certain genre films, like that certain decade or time period. And it seems like the recent like horror fans that are our age and stuff are very obsessed with the 80s films. And I kind of feel like it's because of this slasher outline that we have today, you know, the slasher tropes that we have today. Yeah. I feel like that's why, which you would think that would make today's movie boring, since it's just, I mean, it's a fucking cookie cutter slasher movie.
But that's what makes it nice, because then it's like familiar.
Exactly.
You kind of know what's going to happen. You don't know, but you kind of know.
And they add enough spice to keep this a little different. Mm-hmm. Like, in fact, I think the biggest spice they add is there is a hint, just a hint. It's like somebody put the bay leaf in this movie, that bay leaf being Gallo. There's a little bit of that, and mostly because the killer is wearing leather gloves and has a stopwatch. It's a very European looking thing. It's hard to explain since you haven't seen a lot of European horror movies, but we will cover those, especially the Italian flicks. You know.
Oh yeah.
But it's just a dash. But there's a lot. There's a lot of different things that kind of make this one stand out, I think. You know. You said gloves. That's it. That's fucking it.
That's it. Okay.
But filmed in Los Angeles in 3 weeks. Our feature today it's a total cult film. Like this has its following, but it's still not as big as you would think.
That's what she said.
Probably because there's no sequels here. There's no Graduation Day franchise. I believe there was a Graduation Day remake that I think I quickly forgot about, or it doesn't exist. I have no idea.
You made it up in your brain.
I may have made that up because there was a time period when everybody was remaking movies like this, like April Fool's Day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those. Prom Night got a remake. But speaking about the time period it was released again, this was during the backlash from critics that they were piling up like harsh criticism of this movie, if they even fucking reviewed it. I believe it was the East Coast, lots of critics just refused to fucking talk about these movies, hoping that would impact the film's profits, which ultimately it kind of did in a way. We'll talk about that later. Like, it still didn't hurt it,
right?
Like, which I'll talk about how much money this went on to make in its theatrical run, which is going to shock the fuck out of you. But
I'm going to be in shock.
Maybe. Now, in order for this movie to get noticed, Herb Fried and producer David Bond went theater to theater in person, making sure they would show the trailer to this thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Bond himself even raised money for the budget of this movie from different theater chain owners who would donate to him and stuff. So that's where most of the fucking money came from. Now, this was a hit for Rabbi Herb Fried, who during his 10 directorial accomplishments really didn't put out a ton of awesome stuff, aside from 1980s John Saxon starring Beyond Evil, which is it's a good one. Well, okay, it's gloriously awful, but it's fun. I like today's flick. Today's flick is just fun. I can't really say this is a genius work of art or anything. You can read yourself into anything. Like, I'll kind of talk about one of the things I kind of felt when I was super high watching this one time.
Oh my God.
Like, I really thought of something really deep. And I'll tell you about it later. But you know, this is all just competently made. This is well done for what it is.
Oh yeah.
But that's about it. It's the rare occasion though that when all of this just kind of works and you end up having a blast.
Oh yeah.
I think. And that's sometimes enough. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to talk about today, how to have fun with a movie again. So with that in mind, let's dive into 1981's Graduation Day.
So we're at a high school track and field meet.
You know.
And Leigh does the pole vault and ends up landing on the pole with his asshole, and he dies. Because it goes through his asshole, through his body, and out his mouth.
You know I'm making movies. I'm going to write that down. Get my notebook here. Oh, so if you guys see that in one of my movies, you'll understand. Now it's hard to lock down exactly who started what, you know, when it comes to slasher movies. A lot of people who tend to focus purely on the 80s will sometimes say it started around Friday the 13th, but then you have to remember Halloween came before that. That Christmas, Black Christmas came before,
I was like, what?
that. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out in 1974, which to me is more of a folk horror movie, but that's a conversation for another day. But for me, the 1980s is just when these things became financially viable for studios to put out.
Oh, right.
Which is why you see so many during this decade. And there's no fucking question that slashers are just pure fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like it has.
That's why I love them.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with. Some are scarier than others, of course.
Right.
You have Halloween, which scared the shit out of a lot of people, but they didn't have to be scary. Like for the most part, they just had to entertain you, and most of the good ones do. Yeah, and that's why I think this decade is so popular with people. They're not thinking about the other things like the other underground cult hits and stuff like that. It's more just teenagers group together, go somewhere, somebody picks them off. That's it's a formula that has been tried and true, and people ate it the fuck up because, I mean, this thing follows the same plot points as other movies. In fact, movies that came after this followed the same plot point as this. If you watch 1984's Fatal Games, directed by Michael Elliott, it's almost a carbon copy of this movie, only it has to do with Olympians instead of high school people. But even that movie has its quirks to be fun, even though it's a pure copy.
Oh, wow.
And so like that's the magic of these things, because I don't think you could ever do this again. We tried with Scream. After Scream came out, everybody tried making their own Scream.
Oh, right.
Some were a little bit more memorable than others, but then you remember that month we watched all those.
Oh, my God.
The slog it is to get through those late 90s, early 2000s fucking slasher movies. Those are hard to fucking binge watch, you guys. Not saying they're terrible. It's just not. It's not my favorite time period of slashers. And so like we tried that, but it didn't quite work as much as it did in the 80s. Like that's why there are so many 1980s slasher movies. That whole decade was just slasher haven, and you have so many good ones.
Yeah.
And so it's always mesmerized me. And I do think that's kind of why this is so popular, But I think also what is kind of surprising about those movies, and we'll talk about that today more, but like each one of those movies also has its same flavor, like its own little flavor.
Oh, yeah. They all have twists and turns
they all have
of their own.
They all have their own little spin on things that make it just like another flavor of the same soda.
Right. Like a melon Mountain Dew versus a regular one.
There you go. Like you'd have your regular Mountain Dew, which would be like Friday the 13th or something. Then your melon Mountain Dew, which might be, I don't know, fucking today's feature. There you go. It's not as good, it's not the tried and true little method, but it's still good. It's got a new neat flavor.
Right. It's good to venture out every once in a while. Yeah. We're at a high school track and field meet. The longer this opening goes, the more flashy it gets, because it's flashing between different things going on.
Oh, there are so many cuts here in this little cold opening.
Yes, but then we get to.
This isn't a cold opening. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, go ahead. I'm fucking up already.
So then we meet Laura.
Oh, yeah.
She's doing the 30-yard dash, I think is what it's called. I don't fucking know. She's running.
Yeah, don't get too comfortable with Laura, though.
No. Because she makes it to the end. She's the winner. Winner, chicken dinner dies.
She fucking croaks.
She just fucking dies
the last minute, she fucking dies.
Dead.
You never think, like, when a slasher's opening up that the first death is going to be caused by fucking just pure death. Like
she had like a heart attack or something.
Yeah, Tony Todd came out of nowhere and murdered this poor girl. Brittany's looking at me. You haven't seen Final Destination yet. Don't worry about it. But so Tony Todd offs this first girl. And I got to say, is this the most 1980s thing we've ever seen? Dear Lord, the short shorts.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
The music by the band Felony, who allowed them to use all their music for this movie without being paid. And they appear in the movie later on in a scene I'd really like to talk about.
Yeah, we will.
But yeah, like you got all that shit playing. It is 1980s up in your face.
So 80s, yes.
And I'm here for it. Like, this gets you pumped for the rest of the movie.
I mean, she died already.
Yeah.
And how many Laura's got to die in these things that we talk about? Like, why is it always
Laura's
Laura?
be dropping. Like, Laura's
just
be
fuck
dropping.
Laura. If your name is Laura in a movie, you're dead.
I think the only way you survive is if your name's Laurie, you know?
Laurie.
Yeah, Laurie
right.
will survive, but Laura.
Laura, no.
Laura's not gonna have a good time, are they?
Did people even know what we're talking about?
I don't know. Yeah, Twin Peaks. We're just Twin Peaks, but we're just
on our
saying
Patreon.
Shit. We're just saying shit. I wonder if some of the younger kids understand our references. I've made a Seinfeld joke like 4 or 5 times on this fucking show.
Well, I didn't catch it. It went right over my head.
You always don't catch my references.
That's because I don't watch the same shit as you. Anyway, only these fucking movies. Because you make me.
Because I was going to say, you're forced.
Right.
No, she's not forced. If anything, she forces me.
You like it.
Yeah.
Anyway. So 2 months later, Laura's sister Anne, who is a U.S. Navy officer, she's in town and she ends up catching a ride with the real creepy guy that ends up grabbing her thigh. She tells him to stop, and he says, this is my favorite line in the whole fucking movie. Come on now, give a guy a break. I'm a taxpayer.
This guy.
What?
This guy, right off the bat, is being a fucking creep.
And who is this guy?
I don't know.
Because he really looks like Ron Jeremy.
He does kind of look like Ron Jeremy. It's definitely not.
No,
it's definitely
I
not
know.
Ron Jeremy, but like he does. Like this starts out and it could be a porno. That's how you know it's the sign of a good 1980s slasher. Is this could go either way.
Right.
Like, did I pop in a horror movie or did I pop in the porn? Right. I don't know. It could go both ways. Who knows?
So she starts choking him with his ascot and grabs his junk and threatens him so that he will leave her alone.
Yeah. Now this is Patch Mackenzie, and most like Patch Mackenzie, and later we get Linnea Quigley. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, later we get her. Those two like replaced actresses that were supposed to be in this movie, and so did a lot of other people. Like when you read about this movie, a lot of people were replacing people. In fact, I think Graduation Day is Linnea Quigley's first movie.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I might be wrong.
Oh, you're wrong.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. So we now see Paula, one of Laura's trackmates, running through the woods, and we see that someone's watching her and has a stopwatch. This person ends up grabbing her and slicing her throat. Then we get this really cool blood shot because the blood lands on the screen.
Well, that's what I was talking about, why it does feel like it's an Italian movie. Like at some little slices and stuff here and there, like especially that shot with that blood hitting the screen, all artistic like that.
Yeah.
Which is a cool shot. There is a lot of interesting shots on this, you know. Props to Rabbi Herb Fried.
Okay.
He was a rabbi.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, sure. Props to him. I'm like, okay, I don't care. Anyway, but then we get this long shot. She's dead on the ground, but she's face down. So we get this long shot of her ass in her fucking track shorts. And I was like,
there is a lot of that. That's another thing where you're like, this is the 1980s, y'all. Like, because there is a lot of lingering shots on these women's asses.
yeah.
Like later, there's a whole gymnastics routine that, like, I think I saw her womb at one point. Like, you were all up in that lady's business, and it is a little much, Rabbi.
Oh, they're supposed to be children.
Isn't that funny when you think about these movies? Like, especially since we're older than teenage years now. Like, it's really weird to watch some of these movies and you're like, yeah. And then you're like, oh, they're supposed to be teenagers. Ew, I'm a weirdo.
Oh, and we'll get to that in a minute about teenagers and looking like teenagers. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, man, there's some confusing parts.
Yeah. So at the school, everyone's getting ready for graduation. Coach Michaels wants to take the track photo, but the team says that they need to wait for Paula, the dead girl. They don't know she's dead. And the photographer can't wait any longer, so they take the picture anyway, even though the team's like, she's our best one, blah, 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 blah.
And this guy who plays Coach, George Michaels, by the way.
George Michaels.
Gotta have faith. I gotta have faith. The whole time I was watching this movie, when I found out what his name was, I could not stop hearing that or like, wake me up before you go. But he doesn't sing. No, this dude is the most curmudgeonly motherfucker in this entire fucking movie. Like, it's definitely made as a red herring that he was killing folks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's definitely a red herring. And this is, I believe that, this is Christopher George, who, more known for, like, a lot of, like, these older Westerns and stuff like that. Like El Dorado and the Rat Patrol, which was, I think that was more of was that a Western? No, I think that was a World War II movie. But sorry, you guys.
He's known for Westerns, but he wasn't in one.
Oh, he was in a lot. He was in.
I'm just trying to be an ass.
You, madam. He was also in Enter the Ninja, so you guys might.
So another not Western movie?
No. He was also in The Exterminator, which is
another not Western movie.
Not a Western.
He's known for a lot of not Western movies.
I mean, they did have the Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo. He was in that series. I think he was in like one episode.
Oh my! I think you need to retract your statement.
I retract nothing. But this dude was a fucking heavy drinker, like fucking heavy and frequent smoker of cigars. So this dude's just over here when the camera's not rolling, just puffing cigars and chugging.
I mean, he kind of looks like it.
Kinda. Yeah. He did die of a heart attack in 1983, though, because of something that happened on Rat Patrol. Apparently, like when he was filming a scene or something, he flipped a Jeep and fucked himself up.
Oh, God.
I think he got like concussions and a muscle tear in his neck and chest, which was like a cardiac contusion or something like that. So dude died not too long after this. Maybe that's why we didn't have a sequel. Couldn't have George Michaels back.
George Michaels.
I gotta have. I'm sorry, you guys. This is not what you came here for. I apologize.
No. So Anne goes to her mom's house, and her mom is super sweet, but her stepdad is a total fucking douche. He's mad that she even is alive.
Dude, this guy just fucking immediately, what the fuck you doing here? Like, he doesn't say that. He doesn't say that, but basically, nobody invited you. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And the mom's like, so when are you leaving?
But that's
like trying to be nice to her daughter, but her husband too.
Right. And okay. I have a question. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a theory of mine. And maybe they kind of mention it throughout the movie. Maybe I just missed it. So you guys, feel free to correct me on Twitter. I'm sure you will. But but like this guy, he really hates this girl.
Yeah.
And there's one thing where it's like, is it just because he's mad because the wrong kid died or something? I don't know what his deal is. But does it feel like Anne is a lesbian?
Okay, yes.
I know that guy mentioned it before, but that was more of just like, hey, you don't like me, so you must be a lesbian kind of thing.
Right.
That's a 1980s thing. If you weren't sucking somebody's dick, they thought you were a lesbian for some reason. But
I think maybe she is. Okay, I don't care about that. But the animosity between the stepdad and Anne, I think, this is just my crazy brain, he was molesting her and she called him out on it.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah.
Well, how did you put that together? See, I thought because the tip-off is, why the fuck does this guy hate somebody in the Navy? You think back then these dudes would be like all over it. Like, yeah, or maybe it's because she's a woman in the Navy. I don't know. Maybe that's why he hates her.
The thing is, he's the stepdad, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
The mom is acting like this battered kind of wife person.
Okay.
And men don't like to be called out for molesting children. And
I like how you just was like, yeah, men molest their children. They don't like to be called out for it. It's like, whoa. Not everybody's a pedo.
No, not everybody. Okay. But this is like baseline storyline right into that.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Man, this could have taken a turn for a Lifetime movie, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Like you take out the killings and it's all about like this lady's family drama and kids worried about getting old. Like,
yep.
This is the 90210 episode.
Or he was molesting Laura. And Anne called him out on it.
I don't know. I did not pick up on molestation. I don't know where you got it, but I'll go with it. I'll go with it.
But why would he hate her so much?
It's true. Because, like, okay, we're not doing it any justice. Literally, he's like, rah.
Right.
And he's
obviously a drunk.
Oh, yeah.
And him going into her room just so nonchalantly.
Yeah, but he also makes her old room into a fucking dark room.
Right. But I really feel like this is where it could have gone. Anyway, that's my dark mind.
Yeah, okay. Damn, you made it more dark than mine.
I'm sorry.
I thought we just had some 1981 homophobia in here.
Maybe that's what it was. Okay, I didn't pick that up, but maybe that's what it was. Okay.
You can make graduation day as dark as you want, dear listener. It's a choose your own adventure.
Anyway,
okay.
So Anne says that she's not keeping Laura's insurance money so they can have it.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie is mad that Anne's there. We already said that. And says that he should be the one that gets Laura's trophy. Because we realize that Anne is here to go to the graduation day to get Laura's trophy because Laura's not there, like in her place as a memorial thing.
Which is really weird because it's like, you didn't need all this in your movie. Like,
not really.
You didn't need all this subplot. Like, this is kind of weird for a slasher movie. Like I said, it starts out like, first you think it's a porno. Now we're in a Lifetime movie. Now we're doing Lifetime stuff.
There is sex in a Lifetime movie.
There is, man. I had a discussion with somebody a long time ago. Or not a long time ago. This is a few weeks ago. A few weeks was a long time. But I had a discussion with somebody about how there are no more sexy thrillers anymore aside from what's on Lifetime. And those don't even have fucking in them. We need more sexy thrillers, you guys. We need some thrillers. Of those. Yeah. This could have went a sexy thriller way. It kind of is, if you look at it a certain way.
If you look at it askew, yes.
There's a lot of people standing in porno formation, like throughout this entire movie. Yeah, no joke. Like I said, each scene looks like it could be a porn. Like, just the way everybody's standing next to each other.
Oh my God. Anyway, so Ronnie calls her a big mouth and self-centered, and he's going to slap her, but she just calmly, she was like, I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, because she's a Navy girl, you know, she could beat the fuck out of him. But also, well, maybe we're both wrong on the whole reason Ronnie hates her, because like maybe it's a whole thing because of the insurance money. Which, why did she get the insurance money? Why would it be why is it offered to her?
Why wouldn't the mom get it?
What are we doing here? Like, is she the guardian? What is happening?
I have no idea.
Like I said, there's a Lifetime movie here somewhere that we're not getting.
I have no idea. So back at the school, the gloved mystery person grabs a picture of the track team out of a locker, and there's an X through Laura's face. And then they add an X through Paula's face because, you know, they offed Paula.
Yeah. You're thinking, is this the stroke that killed her? Is it become sentient? It's just walking around killing people? Is that what's happening? The stroke that killed Laura? It's now has a body.
Oh, sentient. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, no. Not one person ever thought that. Okay. Maybe you're a little high. That's okay.
That's okay. Yeah. We're indulging in things.
This is a slasher movie, not paranormal. Okay.
Oh.
This is not a David Lynch movie. Okay.
You know, David Lynch should direct a slasher, because we would have that shit. We would have long moments of people stopping and I'd like looking at an inanimate object and putting meaning into it.
Like cream corn.
Yes.
Anyway. So then we see a girl named Sally walking through the woods, and she runs into Anne, who is being really weird, talking about her dead sister. She's like, your eyes are blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, and my dead sister's eyes were like that. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You need to calm down.
What was that?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, okay. So like you notice, like when we watch these movies, we talk a lot about what is unintentionally funny sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, well, this movie, a lot of the parts are meant to be funny. Like he made it exactly like that. Herb Fried, he had said that like he wanted this movie to have some levity. more levity than most because like he said that like without like the comedic moments and stuff being a little silly, he said that like this movie would be a slog to just try to get through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, so he added a lot of those elements. So I feel like he's kind of one of the first to like, not one of the first to do this, but like he's one of the first, like kind of like, this is kind of one of the first movies that really, really knows it's being fucking stupid.
Right.
But it goes with it. And everybody's in on the joke here. Like, so this feels like one of the earlier examples of those 80s slashers that were like, hey, let's just have fun.
Right.
You know, and I think that really shows through this movie because like you're immediately just having a good time.
Yes. Oh my God. Even with the evil stepdad. And
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
like,
You're just having a blast. Like, I think I put this movie, not saying it's better, but I put it on par with Sleepaway Camp. In that thing where just people know, we know we're making silly art, you know, we know we're doing something silly, but we're going to have fun and we're going to make some cool shit happen. And that's what they go with here. And I really think it's really weird that nobody talks about this as much.
But
we're talking about it. We're doing an episode on it.
I have so much to say.
Oh, yeah.
At the end, I have so much to say.
Okay.
So at the school, the kids are doing their graduation practice. Anna's there and she gets introduced to them. This is where she meets Kevin, Laura's boyfriend, and he says he wants to talk to her after school. So after school, Anne goes to see Kevin and goes to his house and she just walks in the door.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Maybe it's a different time, but I don't ever remember just being able to walk into someone's house. Like, hey, I'm back for, like, I was off somewhere for a long time and I'm just walking into your house.
Right.
Because I thought, when I first saw this movie, I thought she was walking into like an eclectic shop because this house is fucking weird. They
have like an 8-foot statue of a naked man just right in their entryway.
Like, what?
And then off to the side, there's like a fucking montage of books of fucking Laura.
Nobody really talks. Like, no one really asked the question, what is this house? Like, what are you living in?
I don't know.
Why are you living this way?
And there's a crazy grandma in the front room, like yelling about shit.
I know it's his grandma, but he has a literal live-in creepy lady.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
He was like, Grandma can't hear anything.
He's a fucking gremlin living with him. What? This is crazy.
It's a little weird.
And when you told me, which spoilers, by the way, Kevin ends up being the killer. we don't have to worry. People have seen this.
Oh, I hate when you give away the ending.
Well, to talk about it, I can't talk around this, but like they don't try very hard to fucking hide the fact that he's the killer. To me, they don't. You said you were shocked, but I was like, he lives in a spooky house.
I didn't know. I'm sorry, I'm naive.
He lives with in a spooky house with a spooky lady because like the living room where she's at, it looks like a haunted house. Like she goes from this weird place with plants and books of Laura and a naked man to like fucking literal the Addams Family living room is what this old lady's sitting in.
I don't understand it either. Anyway. So Anne ends up giving Kevin Laura's medals as a gift, as a graduation gift. And by the way, we're talking about teenagers looking older. He looks like he's fucking 30.
He does. He Danny Murphy. Again, these guys were supposed to play teenagers.
This guy is 30.
This guy's not a teenager.
He's like
all.
35. Look, he's pushing 35.
It looks like he needs his AARP card already.
Yes.
This is early bird special.
Fuck?
This guy's old as fuck. So immediately, like, I thought when I first saw this movie, I thought he was an assistant coach. So when I found out he was dating this little girl, because she looks young,
right?
When she fucking croaks at the beginning, but she looks young. But like,
he's an old dude.
You're like, ew, and then you're like, oh, he's a teenager. He's graduating.
He's a 17-year senior. You know how they have like second-year seniors or whatever?
Yeah,
this is a 17th
year senior.
Ooh. Yeah, they need to cast better. I don't
Well, it's funny. It's funny because like, okay, so most of your movies, a lot of horror movies that come out now, when they have teenagers in it, most of the time they're casting relatively young people, like maybe 2021 at the most.
Yeah.
So like when you see movies now, the teenagers look a lot more accurate, but in the 80s, people were fucking in these movies. Like we were having, we were having full on nudity and everything. So you couldn't cast a 16-year-old to play an actual teenager. It'd be too weird. Like the actress, in fact, the actress who Linnea Quigley replaced, she didn't want to do the nudity. The required nudity in this movie.
Oh, well, Linnea Quigley is the one for you. She is. If you need nudity in your movie, she's the one.
And her thing was like, she was never against it. She was like, I don't know, I was comfortable with it, whatever. And I mean, if you're Linnea Quigley in the 80s, even now, I'd still look at, my Lord. We've talked on this show about my sexual awakening with Linnea Quigley, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, but so you can't, like, so I get it, but we could have picked a younger guy to play Kevin.
Right. Because he's not fucking anybody in this movie.
No.
Anyway. So now we're back with Sally. She's getting ready for a gymnastics photo shoot in the locker room.
Sally!
Okay, hold on a second.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't know track and field had gymnastics.
Oh, yeah.
I guess back in the 80s, she's on the track and field team.
Oh, do they do gymnastics too, I guess? I don't know. I didn't do sports in high school. Look at me. I'm a film buff. I don't do sports.
They don't do gymnastics anymore in high school.
True. Do they not?
No, they do not. They barely.
Why not? Is it because too many coaches turned out to be molesters?
I don't know.
You know,
they also don't do fucking sports unless you're in high school now.
Weird.
Like, there's no school sports that you can sign the kids up for until high school.
That's in Oklahoma. Probably because they can't afford it no more. Because, Republicans. I don't know. Anyway.
You'd think that they'd be able to afford football.
Yeah.
Because we're a big football state.
Oh, man, we are a huge football state. If you're not playing football, you're gay. And that's why I like dick. I don't play football. Okay.
And probably, if you do play football, you're really gay.
Probably. Hey, man, some of the gayest dudes I know played on the football team in high school.
I mean, you get to see everybody naked.
Oh, man, I should have been on the football team.
Anyway, so Sally's getting ready for this gymnastics photo shoot in the locker room when the lights go out. Then she gets scared by her friends and she's yelling at them. She's pissed the fuck off because she thinks that they did this.
Yeah.
Well, she goes to do her routine and she doesn't perform well because she's all shaken up.
Well, tell the cameraman that because we were just on it.
Oh my God. Okay, so, but the coach is there, right?
Yeah.
And the coach is watching her, and at first she's like, so the cameraman's like, the photographer is like, oh, I just need a couple of shots, and he was like, no, she's gonna do her routine. She's
this guy.
She's
Jesus.
Like, okay. So
no wonder this actor died of a heart attack later. It's pre-heart attack right here.
She starts to do her routine, and he is looking at her. Not the photographer, the coach, looking at her.
It seems like everyone in authority here wants to fuck the younger people.
Oh, yeah.
Which it's kind of hard because, these people are in their 40s or something.
Right. But she's looking at, and we're all looking because we can see inside of her, her soul.
This is the 1980s, man. If you didn't have something like this going on, you didn't have a movie, apparently.
Right.
I love watching these old movies, and you get to a part where you're like, this is a little too long, man. You really enjoyed this shower scene.
Right. Well, they really enjoyed this gymnastics scene.
Oh my God, we did not need 20 minutes of gymnastics.
Anyway, so after the shoot, Sally's in the dressing room. Now she's shaving her legs. Wouldn't you think she would be shaving her legs before this? I don't know.
Yeah, for aerodynamics, you think, right?
I don't know. But she's got her leg up in the sink and she is shaving her leg.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So then we see the killer grab a fencing sword and stab her through the throat with it.
You'll always surprise me because this movie is more gory than you expect.
Oh yeah.
And yes, it's like 1981 special effects. It's no Tom Savini or anything like that, but it's still pretty cool. Like, especially this fucking sword going through your throat.
Oh,
it's pretty rough. She gets an epidectomy with the fucking sword.
Are those things sharp? I didn't think they were sharp.
I think they're pointy, but I think the normal swords that you have in fencing aren't pointy.
Maybe they're capped.
They are. They got a little roll, like a little ball at the end where it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because you did the goal is not to stab the other person. Like, it's not.
Well, this was his goal, to stab her. So,
but and I appreciate it. I appreciate throughout this movie, we are using high school centric things to kill people with.
Oh,
that's lovely.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that's what you want. Because, I mean, at the beginning, that lady got killed with a knife, but that's okay because he's just starting out. You know, the killer's just getting worked up. We got to get to the high school.
It's all about a mode of opportunity. And this was the mode of opportunity with the girl running through the woods.
Yeah.
The knife.
It seems like when he's in we need a lot more in the high school killings, I think, with this. We get a lot of in the woods.
Yeah, because it's easier.
Oh, yeah. You can make people disappear a little faster, I suppose.
Yeah.
We've thought about this too much. Anyway.
You apparently haven't thought about it enough.
The FBI just got flagged.
Oh, we've been on their radio for years.
We are probably bugged. Like our poor FBI guy, the stuff he's had to sit through.
All the porn.
Jesus, they want to do what? I can't do this. I can't. It makes my stomach hurt. Do you know where they put a dildo the other night? Do you know?
Anyway. That's horrible.
Oh.
So now we meet Dolores.
Linnea Quigley.
Yes. And she goes to talk to one of her teachers because she wants him to pass her.
How many people is she sleeping with in this movie?
Not enough. At least 2.
Mm-hmm.
So she locks the door and she starts to undress. He is a little reluctant at first, but then he goes with it. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, oh, Dolores. Okay. What?
Oh, I believe this is Mr. Roberts, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, he's the piano teacher. Am I correct?
Sure. Piano music. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he teaches. They didn't explain it to me.
I believe this is the piano teacher. And so he has like this toupee, which is not fucking fooling anybody. And I don't understand how he has this much pull because we see him playing piano and stuff, and there are people gathering around. Like these girls are gathering around. They're like into it. He has groupies.
Yes.
Like what the fuck? Which goes to my theory, you did not have to look that handsome back in 1981.
No, that's not what it is. These girls knew that if they schmoozed this teacher, they were going to pass.
I don't think a passing grade is worth it. It's high school.
Okay, but those girls that are in there first before Dolores comes in there, they're just flirting with him.
Okay.
He's definitely going to pass them with probably a B.
Okay.
But Dolores,
she's getting an A+.
She's getting valedictorian. Like she's shooting for the moon and she is going to get it.
But I don't understand sleeping with your teacher in high school. I just like, whatever gets you by in this world, go with it. But like, Jesus.
I don't know. My best friend slept with her college professor.
College is a little different. I understand that. I kind of get it. Like,
I don't know about that.
I don't get it. I just don't get. I don't get it. Like I said, whatever you need to do to get past, to get through this fucking world, you have at it.
You do what you gotta do.
You do you.
So then we see the principal being sexual kind of to the secretary.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to go into it because it's really not that important. But then we see him pull out a switchblade and cut an apple very badly, by the way. So I guess this just kind of like hints us to like maybe he's the killer.
Yeah, they're definitely red herring this guy right here because he is like savagely cutting this apple.
Oh, yeah. So now we're back to this teacher, Mr. Roberts, and he hears something that makes him go down to the basement. He says he hears tapping or something. So he goes looking around, And then he starts hearing that someone has recorded his interaction with Dolores.
Yeah.
I don't know why we needed any of that.
I don't know, but this guy eventually just disappears from the movie.
Yeah.
Like, he just like, so long, movie. Like,
there's a couple of things in this movie I'm like, oh, did we need that?
That's what I was saying. There's a lot of this under, like this could have went two different ways. Like,
Yeah.
we got a Lifetime movie, or we got, like, because this could have been like affair with the teacher, you know? Like,
Right.
secret affair with the teacher.
Right. So I don't know.
There's so much going on in this movie. It's hilarious.
But that's what happens. We hear the recording of him fucking Dolores, whatever.
Well, because like also like you got it, like a few things I noticed about this movie. It seems like I know Herb said he made it funny and stuff like that, which is great. But like also it feels like he's kind of grasping at different plot threads to make this a little deeper than just a slasher.
Right.
And it doesn't go anywhere. Like this doesn't go anywhere. It just gets, I think it just gets this guy out of the movie or something. I don't know what this accomplished.
I don't know. So Anne runs into Coach Michaels and he says that she is there to find a killer, but Laura's dying was an accident. He says that he loved her and he loves all of his kids, like his students. Anne says that he pushed Laura too hard. She said that she came for an answer and she thinks she's gotten it. So she has it set in her mind that Coach Michaels pushed Laura too hard and it killed her.
It kind of did.
It kind of did, yeah.
You see at the beginning before she gets fucking stroked out or whatever, like he is yelling at her faster or like something like that and timing her, which is it's a red herring because the killer uses a stopwatch.
Right.
So like you see him using that stopwatch and that's why you're like, oh, I bet he's the killer and stuff.
Right.
But like, but you see him, he's standing there and he's like, don't you disappoint me. 30 more seconds or so. I was like, what is the time for? Why are you timing this? She's about to win. What is the time coming to her?
I think she had to do that in 30 seconds.
That's stupid. How is it a race at that point?
I don't know. I don't know. She won. She won.
Yeah.
Do they lose by default because she dead or what?
That's a good question. Would it go to the runner up at that point? I feel like that's not fair.
No,
you know that person who was in second was like, yeah, but she died. That's me now, right?
You're right.
That's fucked up.
I have no idea.
So fucked up.
She's dead. She can't get a trophy. Where's my trophy?
I know. Why does she get a trophy? She's dead.
She did.
If anything, she failed. You're not supposed to die. Like the point is not dying. It's not a race to death.
Wow.
Oh,
We're
shit.
terrible.
We're awful people.
So another track guy named Ralph is walking in the woods and he runs into Doris and Joanna. And
Doris is played by an early Vanna White before she was turning letters at Wheel of Fortune. Isn't that crazy?
Oh.
Get early Vanna White.
Can I get a vowel, please? Anyway. So
we got no jokes.
I got no
jokes for Vanna White.
I got nothing. So the girls end up throwing his ball into the bush. Saying that line. Yeah.
Are we 13 here?
Yeah, I think so.
Just throwing balls into the bush. Yeah.
You know what? If we were in an 80s slasher movie, we could play 13-year-olds.
Probably. Yeah, we would be someone's children.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, there's fucking in the scene, so bring in the kids and just fucking. I'm playing a 12-year-old. How's that? I have a full beard. Well, I don't know. You're an early 13. I go with it.
A late.
Mom, can I?
Oh, early. I see. Early bloomer.
Yeah. Mom, can I? Mom, can I? Get a ride to school today.
Oh my God.
I am 13.
Anyway.
Works for me.
Stop. So when Ralph is looking for his ball, the killer throws the ball to him, and attached to it is a spike. And the spike goes through Ralph and kills him.
This is fun. Like this is a fun. This is where I mean, like you start getting some high school themed killings. You got the sword, the fencing sword.
Yeah.
And then does he take the fencing sword and attach it to this ball? This guy's resourceful.
I have no idea.
And that's genius. Like, if I was killing folks, I would never get the idea to use the ball with a spike to murder a man.
Why didn't he step out of the way?
I don't. Well, he's a high school football person, so immediately you gotta catch it. You gotta go long.
But the sword is sticking out of the ball, and the sword's like 3 times the size of the ball.
You gotta go long. It doesn't matter.
Go big or go home, I guess. I think he could have jumped out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Sally.
Unless this guy's Dan Marino, I don't understand how he got that. I don't know.
And just like Sally getting the sword to the throat, like she looked at him for a long time. Like,
I love that. I love that in horror movies when they're like, oh, and it's like taking like 10 minutes to kill him. And like, it's almost like the killer's like, wow, they're really not moving. This is crazy.
Right.
Look at this.
She could have just like ducked. I don't know.
I don't know. We're also asking people because there's
we're asking too much from our
we're asking way too much of graduation day.
But this was the only killing that I was like, really? You gonna just step out of the way?
I was for it, man. I was all for it. You know, because like once the killings start in this movie, things really start getting fun.
Yes.
It's so like this football with a fucking sword flying through the air. That's good stuff. Okay.
Right. So later that night, there's a graduation dance party thing with a live band called Felony.
Man, they are playing the shit out of this scene. This is a music video. This is the whole song.
It is a fucking music video.
The movie, if we wouldn't have intercut with Tony's death here in a minute, if we weren't getting intercut with that, this literally just stops the movie dead and you're just at a roller rink having a good time. And so supposedly all these roller skaters like in this roller rink thing, they got paid $5 to be in this movie.
I didn't even know that there was roller skating.
Oh, you were too busy with the fucking music
I
grooving.
was jamming and I couldn't watch it because it was too flashy.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of like Brittany has epilepsy. You know, she mentioned. So the epileptic trigger warning here with this movie. But yeah, because the way it's cut, it is edited by a madman here. Because you're like cutting back to the woods, then you're cutting back like in 2 seconds. You're cutting back to like fucking Felony.
Really quick. It's like a fucking what do you call those things? A flip book?
Yeah. It's so fast. The edits on this fucking movie. But I will say the edits are pretty good though. Like it's decent. Like I said, this is all competently done. But I gotta say, we don't get this in movies anymore. We don't ever stop the movie to have a live performance.
Right.
Like we need to bring that back. We need one of these like newer slashers, you know, these grim, take themselves too seriously slashers that come out nowadays to fucking just stop dead and have a live performance by somebody. It's just like, how much more fun would you be having if it's just like fucking, I don't know.
You just have a concert in the middle of your
fucking
movie?
concert. I don't know. Like, who could be the fucking band these days? You don't want like an Ed Sheeran in there. That would be the wrong kind of stop the movie dead.
Got T Swift up in here. No, I'm just kidding.
You get Snoop Dogg just playing in the middle of a slasher movie. That'd be fucking badass. Just,
Gangster's Paradise.
It's like, oh man, these killings, they're getting crazy. Well, luckily, we're going to unwind at this Snoop concert. It's just 5 minutes of Snoop.
Oh,
now that's a good time.
Only if you're high.
I mean, if you're not having a couple of tall glasses of water with these movies, what are you doing? You know, you got to get high and watch some slashers. Have you ever done that?
No.
You've never partaken in the Jazz Cabbage and watched a good old slasher movie. You're having a good time.
First of all, I only watch these movies because you make me watch them. And if I watch them high, you're going to get all kinds of jumbled shit.
That's true. Your notes are not going to make a goddamn sense.
So,
like, and then a leprechaun came and I'm playing.
So, and I don't even smoke that much.
No, that's me.
When's the last time I smoked weed?
It's been a while. You need to get on the ball, man.
I don't want to.
Peer pressure.
I don't want to.
Just okay, fine.
I'm good. I'm
fine.
good.
If you don't want to be cool.
I'll take my shrooms, thank you. Anyway.
Anywho, the shrooms that you did in Colorado. Yeah.
Why are you making it a secret?
Because
Like,
it's illegal here. So Colorado.
So it would me be smoking weed because I don't have my medical marijuana license.
Not if you say it out loud.
You didn't have to say it out loud either.
Now Mark, the FBI agent, is going to be all over us.
You know,
so you understand? You understand?
You know how many conversations we've had through text message about drugs?
Well, he doesn't care about that, but we're talking to a platform here. Now he's got to do something.
What is
now he's
got
to do something, and he might ruin his jerk fest with the porno stuff we talk about.
What is he gonna do?
I don't know. I had a beer with him.
Anyway, okay. So Dolores and Tony, her boyfriend, leave the party to go do it in the woods because, you know, Dolores, Linnea Quigley, she's always doing.
Oh, yeah. And the whole time that fucking felony is playing, just keep that in mind.
Yes.
We're still at the felony concert, too.
So Tony's fucking around and he gets decapitated by the killer.
It is a good 1981 decapitation.
Oh, yeah.
You see it. You see it.
Oh, yeah.
Which we did watch the director's cut of this. So from my knowledge, because I didn't see this until I got the Troma DVD.
Yeah.
So this was back in 2004 or something. But to my knowledge, I think, I don't know if it was cut like this when it was out on VHS. So maybe. I know, like I said, you think back to around this time, they were cutting the hell out of the MPAA was coming down on these movies. Like for fucking Friday the 13th, they cut the shit out of it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's weird to see this because you go from Friday the 13th and then maybe you watch this and you're like, well, now I'm seeing the decapitate. If I could see those in that original movie,
Right. Anyway, so Dolores goes to look for him and she sees the fence dress killer. I wrote it like that because he's got his fencing mask on.
Yeah.
And his track pants, but whatever.
you gotta improvise.
And she gets chased by him for a long time before he decapitates her. But by the way, her shirt is unbuttoned the whole time, so she's got titties flopping.
Yeah. It's literally and if you watch closely, sometimes it's buttoned and sometimes it's opened. So they were like, man, we just don't have enough boobs in this, and Linnea is the only one who's giving it. So, hey, pop her shirt open every now and then.
Right.
All right, Linnea. All right, that was some good running. We're gonna need you to stop for a second and open your shirt. What?
I bet they did that too.
While I'm running? Yes.
Yeah.
Open your shirt, please. Show us the boobies.
Show us the titties.
It's 1981.
I don't think they said
Me Too is not here yet. We need you to show us boobs.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
All right, 80s.
But then she gets decapitated.
Yeah. 2 decapitations, one after the other. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
That's a good slash
That's
movie.
where your movie, immediately, no matter what you're thinking about this movie, immediately when you see 2 decapitations right next to each other while felony's playing, this is a good time. Now
this
your
is
movie
where you need to
is up
stop
there.
and you need to fuck.
Yeah, this is we reached the climax here. I do wish they kind of saved these decapitations till the end because, no, he does go up. You think there's not going to be anything better than 2 decapitations, but there's a fucking scene in a minute. It gives me the giggles and it's also cool. I don't,
Oh, you're a weirdo.
I am very weird. Which, by the way, did you notice that? In this scene where Linnea Quigley's running from the killer, we get a rare dog jump scare. Normally, it's the cat popping out that scares you. But yeah, there's just this random dog pops out of nowhere and then leaves the movie.
I guess I didn't see that.
What the fuck was that?
I guess I didn't see that. I had a hard time with this because of the flashing and...
Well, there's a lot of stuff packed into each scene. That's another thing. A lot happens.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds weird, but I like the detail.
Yeah, which again, kind of it feels like an Italian horror movie in parts.
I'll explain at the end. I have so much to say, but I'm going to save it for the end.
Especially because at the end, there is a shot. There's a trick shot that Herb Fried uses. And we'll talk about it when we get there, but that is straight out of something like Phenomena or something, because that was wild. I was like, that was effective. But anyway, yeah, dog jump scare. That's a new one.
Hey, it happens sometimes.
I know. It looks like they literally throw this dog at Linnea Quigley too. While she's hiding in a bush. They just toss the dog. All right. We've seen the boobies. Toss the dog. It's time to toss the dog. Now be sure to catch this dog, Miss Quigley. You're throwing dogs?
What? I don't have my shirt buttoned.
Well, you know, it was either throw the dog or we use the cannon. PETA's not with the cannon. We can't use the t-shirt cannon with the dog. It's apparently frowned upon. I thought it would have been a cool kill.
Anyway.
You shoot someone with a dog through a t-shirt canyon. That's very inventive, I think.
Anyway. You are too much sometimes.
It's just because I think that's hilarious. And I'm probably, you know, if hell exists, I'm going there just for the t-shirt dog cannon.
Okay. Anyway, so the next day, the principal's on the phone with parents looking for their kids. He's like, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Well, he kind of puts two and two together and realizes that these kids are all from the track and field team that are missing. Then there's an inspector that comes to investigate the missing kids because the parents are throwing a huge fit.
And honestly,
I mean, I would too. Like, where's my kid? What's happening? And the principal just like sloshes it off. Sloshes is not the right word. He just says that they're probably goofing off before graduation because he doesn't have the answers. He doesn't want to fucking talk to them. He's like, I'm too busy for this shit.
And honestly, I gotta say, this detective doesn't really do much.
No,
there's not much to this. This is just more stuff from that Lifetime movie.
From that Lifetime movie.
Well, he's investigating the sexy murder.
Right. So then we see one of the track guys, Pete. He's doing the pole vault.
Oh, man.
By the way, hold on a second.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
have to pause this for a second.
Okay.
Who advised this Pete guy to pole vault by himself?
I don't know. You think there would be some rules?
Are they allowed to do that?
Maybe. I have no idea. I think nowadays there's more safety implemented, maybe. Maybe that's why these aren't at schools, because they were just allowed to pole vault by themselves, and there was too many incidents.
You have to be careful because, you know, sometimes there's steel spikes poking out of these
someone sets a Looney Tune trap for you. Which this, like I said, you think, how is the kills going to top themselves after those two beheadings? And it's like, oh, Bugs Bunny came with a spike bed. Because it is seriously like a comedic bit. Because he leaps into the air, right? And when you don't see him land on these spikes, but he leaps and you see the pole fall over, and then you just hear, ah!
And then he's dead.
And then he's dead on a bed of Looney Tune spikes.
So I watched the scene, and our 5-year-old's like, what is he doing? And I was like, he's dead.
He died.
And he was like, no, what was he doing? And I was like, he's pole vaulting. And he was like, what the hell is that? He didn't say hell, but
I was like, damn.
He didn't say that, but he was like, what is that? And so I had to look up pole vaulting videos for the next 30 fucking minutes.
That's hilarious. Because, okay, I've noticed our son is becoming me. When he finds something new he doesn't know about, he has to learn everything about it.
Yeah.
And I think I've passed on this curse to him.
He's like, what is it? Then he was like, oh, I want to do that. And I said, honey, I don't think you're tall enough to do that yet. And he says, I'm 3 feet tall.
You would miss the bag.
And I was like, okay.
No, I was
like, I don't know if they make pole vaulting for children.
But this is the most fun I've had with a spike death since fucking Freddy's dead. Like, there is a literal Looney Tunes joke in that fucking movie. Like, Freddy's dead gets off the wall hilarious. But
these spikes come back to haunt us in a little bit.
Yes, they do. I did not think we were going to have a spike callback. Did not.
No. Spike recall.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead. That was funny.
I don't know what that even means. I just said it.
It works.
It sounded good. Anyway, so the inspector goes to talk to the coach and wants to know if he knows anything about the missing kids.
When he approaches, it looks like the coach is dead.
Yes, he's just sitting in his chair.
Yeah, and they do this long, like he draws the scene out of this this detective approaching like this dude. Like it takes forever to get over there. It's like the guy's like, oh man, am I gonna see a dead body?
Why is his desk in the middle of this gym.
Middle of the gym? Like, it's like, they couldn't spring for an office? Like,
No.
You can't have an office? You're in the middle of the gym.
Right.
You know what that is?
A desk.
You know what that is? Wherever they filmed, they were like, nah, you can't use my office. But that's going to look weird. Now we're going to have to put this in the middle of the gym. Yeah, you can use the gym, not my office.
He's the coach.
He's the coach. He has to have an office. Yeah, not in mine. That's not going to be my office, though. I don't know what to tell you. But we see offices in the shot. Not my office. I'm being nice here. I'm letting you use my gym. But I'm not letting you use my office. That's it.
Usually, like gyms, between the gym and the locker room, there's an office.
Yes. You see it in the shot.
It's like, what? Is this got a desk in the middle?
Out in the middle.
Anyway. Well, Michael says,
is this a gym or is it like shop class?
That's where the other thing happened with Anne when she's talking to Michael. I don't know.
This is all the same room, isn't it? They're just using the same room. No, you can't use the other rooms in this. Just this room.
The gym, the locker room.
But that means we're only going to be there in the woods. Yeah, I'm not making the movie. I'm not the creative force. Why do I keep sounding more and more like Harvey Firestein?
You act like they're up.
I'm not making you a rubber lady suit, Daniel. Just go home, apologize to Sally Field, and that'll be the end of it. I'm not making you a woman.
He brought a donkey into the house.
And that movie's a horror movie.
Anyway.
Enough Miss Doubtfire jokes.
So Michael says no, that he doesn't understand about the missing kids or whatever. He doesn't know anything. All he knows is that he got fired because of Laura's death.
Then what is he doing hanging around?
Okay, hold on a second.
I got a question. Go ahead.
No. So they fucking fired him on graduation day because they needed him until then? Why didn't they fire him when Laura died 2 months ago? 2 months. They're like, oh, we can't spring for another. We can't let the social studies teacher be the gym coach. So we gotta stick with him until the end of the year.
Shit, that's America for you. I think that's the most accurate thing in this movie. It's like, yeah, we're going to fire you, but not yet. Hang around. It's like,
we need you for a couple more months.
I'm quitting. No, you want that pension? No, you're going to hang around. God damn it.
Oh, and that was back in the day when like gym coaches were actually, or like track and field coaches were actually coaches and not teachers and coaches.
Yeah, true. Man. Did you have a teacher that was a coach?
All of them.
Yeah, our coach was our art teacher. Figure that out. That was the weirdest time.
We had baseball coaches that were math teachers. We had football coaches that were science teachers.
It actually seemed, you know what it seemed like in our school? Like, because it literally was the art teacher was the school coach, the PE coach.
Yeah.
And it kind of seemed like, now that I'm thinking back, I think the coach replaced the art teacher, because like when we would go to art class, that was not art class. He was just like, here's some clay.
Make something.
You have some clay. Here's some clay for you. Here's your clay.
They gave me all the clay and told me to.
I mean, look at this list here. We're supposed to learn about form. All right, we're going to turn on a video of clay making. I found a video in the library. It's very good. Just watch this and make shit. I'm going to go look at some porn.
Big Booty Judy was my art teacher. She was not a coach.
Man, you like, did you get the mean art teacher? We're stopping this dead to talk about high school, you guys.
We were back in our high school fields.
Are there?
Was she mean?
Yeah. She a mean art teacher?
Not really. Was she racist? Absolutely.
Oh, that's even more awkward.
Oh,
yeah. Racist teacher. We had a racist teacher.
Especially, and I know I've told this on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Especially when the gang members came in and beat up the dude in class.
Oh, yeah.
And then they left. Yeah, definitely racist.
I'm sorry. That would have been the best art day ever.
It was.
Like, if someone came in and got their ass just whipped right in front of me, I'd be like, oh, yeah.
We were all like, we were watching a movie or something. And so that kid was asleep.
So you guys were watching The Joy of Clay. And the fucking...
Yes. That kid was asleep and he fucking got jumped in class asleep. Like,
Man, that sucks. That's a sucky day.
Then it's like, oh, I cannot sleep in class anymore. I might get jumped.
Is this what the school's doing? Like, is this a thing they got?
I want to know how they found him.
I don't know, man.
That must have been
That
an
was
inside
back
job.
in the day when schools weren't as protected. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Because we could go in and out the door that was right by the arts class. And
Remember,
that went
like,
out
when
to
your
the
parents
parking
could
lot.
just come into class? Like, they just come see you?
Oh,
Hey!
please don't. I don't know, though.
That was always a bad time if mom showed up to the school, though. I knew I had done something if mom showed up to the school. Because, like, this is back in the day when my mom could walk.
Yes.
And so that was scary. It's like, come to the principal's office. Your mom's here. It's like,
oh, God, what did I do? Everything.
We found naked pictures of your kid was drawing naked pictures in art. I was drawing boobies on the desk. I got in trouble.
So there was a lot that happened on that little strip of classrooms. So I got to tell you this story.
We
Okay.
really did just stop.
So we have the art classroom. And there's lockers everywhere, on the walls. There's the art classroom and then a set of lockers. And then there was a science class. And that was my homeroom class. And that dude was going through a divorce. And so sometimes he'd bring his kid and make his kid like sit behind the counter, like where he would like teach or whatever. There was like a countertop and he'd make his kid sit there and like listen to their headphones on his phone or something. And like, or he just wouldn't fucking show up. And there was kids in there just smoking weed.
We had a dude going through a divorce and he just cried a lot. Like he would just like be talking about something and then just have to go to the other room and just bawl. We could hear him. It was really weird and pathetic.
And this is where my locker was in between the art class and the science class because my homeroom was right there. And then across from my locker was a bathroom, a girl's bathroom, which was nice. Like it's right there, right? That's where the lesbian chicks were like finger banging each other on the counter and shit. And I was like, oh, this is a fun hallway.
High school was
my
interesting.
Favorite hallway.
High school was very interesting.
Yes. This was not in the main building. This was in the annex building.
We never got to see Felony though. Like, like I wanted that. Like I wanted that kind of high school.
Oh, and right outside those doors, you could go left into the parking lot, or you can go right, and it had like these tables, and that's where everybody fought.
Y'all had a fighting rink?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
I went to rich school, though.
Sometimes if you didn't know if there was a fight, you heard about it later, or if you walked through that courtier or whatever the fuck you call it, corridor. That's how you say it. Anyway, you'd see like people's hair like bunched up. Or like ripped clothes and shit, and you're like, "Oh fuck, I missed a fight."
Brittany went to Thunderdome High. What the fuck?
Memorial High School.
Oh my lord. Anyway, we should probably get back to the movie. I apologize. We just straight up went back to high school. That was fun.
Oh yeah. So Doris and Joanna are in the locker room when they see blood on the lockers.
Can I have a vowel?
Oh. I don't know why. And when they open it, they find Sally stuffed inside and also the fencing sword.
Then how did he kill the dude with the football? Where'd he get that spike?
Maybe there was two fencing swords.
Oh, yeah, he could have. That's true. Yeah, he could have grabbed two.
So the girls are screaming so loud, it makes Coach come in there. And then Kevin goes in there to figure out what's going on. And Coach has the fencing sword, so he thinks that he's killed Sally, but he actually they just make it look like that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not what it looks like.
So the girls go running out of the school, telling people to call the police, and Coach starts beating Kevin up and knocks him out. And he runs out of the school. Then Anne, the inspector, and the security guard go running into the locker rooms, and they find the picture of the track team with the faces X'd out.
Yeah.
Like all these motherfuckers that died.
Yeah, this dude's got a kill list.
Yeah. They think that Kevin is innocent. Like he got beat up by Michaels, so they're thinking that Michaels is the killer.
Right.
Whatever. So Michaels runs into the woods and Kevin runs after him. So they chase each other through the woods and run up on Ralph's body. Kevin says that he saw Michaels kill Laura and that they all killed Laura and now they're all going to have to pay.
George Michaels killed Laura.
George Michaels. Anyway.
He said, wake me up before you go. I don't know.
Kevin says that he killed everyone and that he saved the best for last. He said his whole life has changed. His whole life had changed in 30 seconds, and says that him and Laura were going to get married right after graduation. And he was like, right after graduation today.
Oh.
He's mad. He's mad.
Oh,
So this is a crazy 10 seconds, okay? Michaels flips Kevin over, and when Kevin tries to attack him, and Michaels takes the knife that Kevin has from him. Well, right when this happens, the inspector runs up, and all he sees is Kevin on the ground. Michaels has a knife, and he just unloads on fucking Michaels.
Man.
Boom, boom, boom. Right in the gut.
Man, a little switcheroo here. He got George Michaels. He shot George Michaels.
Did you have to say George?
Yes, because that's his name.
His name is Coach.
George Michaels. Coach George Michaels.
Actually, I don't know if he's coach anymore because.
Oh, that's true. He's dead. He's fucking shot in the stomach.
No, not because he got shot in the stomach, because he's fired. He got fired twice.
But yeah, he got fired twice. No, he ain't coming back.
No. So Coach is dead, and Kevin looks innocent. Okay. So Anne goes to make sure that Kevin's okay, and the inspector asks him to make a statement at the police station. So while he's doing that, Anne goes to the school to pick up Laura's trophy and her diploma.
Yeah.
And while she's there, the secretary tells her that Kevin already picked it up, and says that Kevin said that Anne had asked him to do that.
So if that establishes anyone could have walked in and got this.
Right.
Why is Anne here?
Right. The mom couldn't have come.
Because they make it sound like maybe that was like Laura's last wishes or something.
Right.
Like her sister comes back from the Navy.
From fucking Guam.
From Guam. She even says, I came back from Guam to get this fucking diploma. You didn't have to have this. It's your movie. It's your movie. You didn't have to have her coming back from Guam. What?
You could have just had her living in.
She could have just been there.
Right.
Oh,
I don't know. They were like, okay, we found this really cool this woman's Navy outfit. We want our main character or one of our main characters to wear this.
Man, I just really want to use this.
Gotta
Navy
write
outfit.
A story behind it.
But we can't. What are we gonna put it in? I don't know. Do we put it in the gym? Can it just be hanging? Not on my wall.
No.
That's not going on my wall. No.
Oh my gosh.
No Navy in the gym.
Oh my god. Anyway, so Anne's kind of putting two and two together here.
Yeah. It took her fucking long enough.
I know, right? Well, it took me long enough too because I didn't know.
I am shocked that you were surprised.
I thought it was Michael's.
They really did a good job for you.
Yes, they did. So Anne goes to Kevin's house to figure out what's going on, and she goes into Kevin's room and she sees someone sitting in their cap and gown. And when she looks at the face, it's dead Laura.
It's fucking her dead body. Whoa. No one noticed this dead body's gone?
They didn't know that he unearthed Laura and just fucking...
Yeah, did no one notice this?
And the smell? It's got a smell, okay? It's got it, right?
Well, who's gonna notice in this crazy house?
That's true. So if I die, are you gonna unbury me and just put me in your room?
I don't know.
Like this chair right here.
I feel like you're gonna be decomposing. I don't know if I could do it. That'd be weird.
So you don't love me enough.
It's like, hi, Britt.
Is that what you're saying?
Hi, baby. Your just head is falling off and a rat comes out. Oh, you got it. I'll spray a little harder next time. I'm sorry.
You're so cute.
You look so cute when you're sleeping. It's just fucking...
So you don't love me, is that what you're saying?
What? Yes, I love you more than to unearth your body.
That's okay.
You think he's doing it? You think he's doing this corpse?
I don't know.
Like I said, it's a choose your own adventure, listener. Take this as dark as you want.
Right. Ew. So if I die,
oh God.
and I get cremated, are you going to get my ashes put in like a what are those things? A fleshlight?
Oh, get it like make it into a. Okay,
Yeah,
I was thinking
yeah.
pouring. I was like that.
No, not
That doesn't
fucking
seem
my ashes
fake.
like that. But like
that doesn't seem safe.
Like my ashes get made into a fleshlight.
So I can fuck your dead body. I see.
Not my dead body. It's a fleshlight.
It feels like necrophilia to me. It all feels like necrophilia.
So what you're saying is,
I will put you
don't
in an urn.
love me.
I'll tell you what. I'll get a real doll, make it look like you, and I'll put the ashes in the head. So it's kind of like
so little weird.
So I'm fucking you, but I'm not fucking your ashes. You see, I'm fucking your RoboCop body.
You know what I really want you to do? I want you to Joe Dirt me. I want you to take the urn. No, that's not what I meant. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, that's not what I meant. Take my urn and take some duct tape and duct tape around it.
Oh yeah, you go
and
everywhere.
Hang me from the windshield.
You can go everywhere with
windshield,
me.
not the windshield. You know what I'm talking about. The mirror. Yeah.
Oh, did you put your dead dog's ashes? No, that's my wife. What the fuck?
She hates my driving.
This or fuck her in a fleshlight.
She hates my driving.
She yells at me all the time. If you listen really close, she's yelling right now. I'm going to take the bus.
Anyway, so Kevin pops up.
Boo!
He kind of does. He's just there. And
well, it's a fucking fun house or whatever the fuck he's living in here.
Right. So he says that they just put Laura in the ground and forgot about her. Okay.
Dude, she's dead.
She did. But he says that she's happy that Anna's there because him and Laura are going to get married today.
And this actor's going for manic, right?
Yes.
But for some reason, I don't know what it is, and I might be wrong on this, but for some reason, this dude looks like fucking like one of the lead singers of fucking like, I don't know. He looks like one of the members of like the Eagles or something. Like so this whole time, this Glenn Fry looking motherfucker. He's like trying to kill this lady, but the whole time I keep seeing him, I just keep hearing "One of These Nights" by the Eagles.
Oh my god!
Because he's going for manic and he's trying his best, but it's not coming across.
It's not very good.
It's
no. So when
one of these nights.
So when Anne acts all freaked out, he says that she doesn't love Laura either, and he's gonna have to teach her a lesson too. So they start struggling back and forth, and Anne ends up pushing Kevin along with Laura's corpse through the window.
You know who he actually looks like?
I don't know.
He actually looks like John Fogerty from CCR. So it'd be more like why he's killing her. He's just singing, you know. You take the thunder from the Mount Hall. You know, John Fogerty.
Okay.
You know that?
Sure.
It ain't me.
Okay, I know that song.
You know that singer.
Yes. I guess so. I guess I know. Can you stop talking about it now?
Oh, because he looks like he's 50. This dude's old as fuck.
So she pushes them through the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
She runs downstairs to go outside, to run away or whatever.
Yeah.
By the way, when she opens the door, here comes Kevin holding Laura's body, just fucking coming back in the house. So Anne runs away.
It's a party. He's just controlling her like a puppet. Where you going?
Oh my God. He doesn't do that. He's just carrying her body.
You want to go for a run? Ooh, too soon.
Oh my God. Anyway, so Anne runs.
Stop all that running. It'll kill you. I should know. I'm sorry. Okay. I'll let you finish.
So Anne runs away to the track and Kevin follows her. And they fight, and she runs away and ends up finding Pete's body with spikes in it. Yeah. So she pushes Kevin into the spikes.
Oh, man.
And this is where he dies. The blood coming out of his mouth. Oh,
that was good,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
This was a good little death. I mean, even though it's reusing the same thing, but it's kind of like, oh, I fucked up. I should have picked up the spikes.
Right.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, no.
He hung him there in this like closet thing.
I know.
With the spikes in
Yeah,
him?
I should have took the spikes.
Oh,
I
no.
forgot. This was bad.
Sounds like something you would do.
He's just sitting there. This is my bad. This is my bad. This is fucked. I fucked up.
I did fuck up.
Oh, fuck. This is not funny. Oh, fuck. Oh.
So that night, Anne is going to bed because she has a flight early in the morning.
Looking at my yeah, it's CCR. That's how they sound, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
She falls asleep and she ends up having a nightmare that Kevin bursts into her room and he's going to kill her. But then the light comes on.
This is the shot I was telling you about. Because it looks like it's Kevin, and all of a sudden she flicks those lights on, and it's fucking her stepdad with a bottle.
A bottle,
like,
yes.
What is he doing? Is he about to brain this poor girl with the bottle?
I told you, it's a little weird how he just goes into her room.
It's a fucking like...
He's too comfortable going into her room, okay?
Yeah.
He's a little too comfortable.
Oh my God.
Anyway, and he's just yelling that she's nothing but trouble. And the mom's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She was like, "He shouldn't have woke you up," or whatever. Like, what?
What are you doing in here with a bottle?
Right.
What the fuck, dude?
He was in there to molest her. Anyway.
Oh God, we're warping this movie.
So the next day, Anne takes a taxi, and the movie ends with a shot of the taxi underneath the sign that says "Happy Graduation Day."
Ooh, that was a good ending. That was a good ending. Did you stick through Did you stick through the credits? You felt like it just kind of ended.
No, the ending was fine. I didn't need the scene with the Kevin and the dad and
that
all
was
that.
Again, that's more from that Lifetime movie that's somewhere in there. Now she has trauma on that, trauma with that, trauma here. She's going back to the Navy to get more trauma, I guess. I don't know. But if you stuck through the credits, this movie has like a stinger scene. This movie has like one of the earliest stinger scenes, I think, because if you stick through it, it shows the killer. He has the stopwatch, and he clicks it. So does that mean the killer's still out there?
I thought Kevin died.
What? I don't know. What's that about? Like, what is that about?
Does it matter?
Yeah, kind of. Why is it at the end of this movie?
It doesn't matter because there's not a sequel.
I don't know, but I will tell you when the screen popped up and there was more to this movie, I was like, is fucking Samuel L. Jackson going to show up and get Anne into the Avengers Initiative?
No.
I have a girl named Lori you should meet. It's just fucking, it's a final girl Avengers movie. Da, 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 da. But yeah, like there is a little bonus scene, which I found that very interesting.
I did not stay around for that.
Brittany was done. Brittany's done when the credits hit.
Yep.
She's not a credit watcher like I am. I sit through the whole
Why
thing.
would you want to?
Because I like to know who worked on the movie I had
I
fun
can
with.
barely read any of it.
Well, you need glasses, madam.
No, it goes by too fast.
It goes too fast?
Sometimes.
Oh, not for me. I can read real fast, though. I don't know. It's a thing. Anyway. So Graduation Day was released to Los Angeles on its premiere, May 1st, 1981, which just in time for graduations.
Yeah.
Where it came out on a budget of $250,000 and it grossed $98,000 opening weekend at like 16 theaters. Hang on a sec, though, because between May 8th and 10th, it got to 83 theaters and earned about $512,884.
Oh, that was very specific, but okay.
Yeah. Then May 15th through May 17th, it was expanded to 74 theaters, which it grossed about $319,000. So
nice.
So altogether, between its opening and August 14th of 81, the movie grossed $23.9 million during its entire theatrical run.
Oh, dang.
This was a major success.
I wonder how many high school graduates saw that.
I don't know, but this is kind of does this count as a blockbuster?
I don't
That's
know.
a lot of money for one of these movies to go on
Right?
to make. And that's great, man. That's great.
awesome.
And just to show you, I really do think this movie succeeds because it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that isn't, it's got a nice cheeky humor to it. It's not just murdering teenagers in the woods,
Right.
which it could very well have been. Now, like I mentioned before, critics were curmudgeonly hating on these slasher films. So it didn't make much on the East Coast where no one reviewed it. But those who did gave it the usual negative comments, the bad acting, terribly shot, not the movie Citizen Kane. I don't know what critics are wanting from a slasher movie, but all those kind of things. Although it seemed like a lot of critics that did give it positives, it was mostly for it being fun to laugh at.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this thing is a cult hit now with lots of support behind it. I've heard people getting excited for this episode before we posted it. So there's a lot of support for it, but it's still not talked about as much as your like The Burning or Friday the 13th or Madman from a few weeks ago. Which I agree. You did say, you were like, because Brittany doesn't tell me if she liked or disliked these movies, but she did tell me, you gave me a little hint because you were like, I liked this over Madman.
No. Let me use the words that I used to
I was
you.
paraphrasing.
Okay.
I was paraphrasing for those listeners who love Madman and hold it very high.
I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking holding your balls for you.
Brittany does not hold balls.
Okay. How dare you? When you told me we were doing this and you were like, oh, I hope you like this because you didn't like Mad Men. How dare you compare this movie to that piece of fucking garbage?
Ah, shit.
Mad Man.
Oh, she ain't holding it back. It's uncensored.
What the fuck was that?
I don't agree that Madman's a piece of shit, but I do agree. I think Graduation Day is the better movie. I think it's a lot more fun than Madman. Madman's fine. It's a fun movie too.
That movie is boring as sin. I would rather watch my great Aunt Edna fucking eat her boogers.
Ew. Whoa, that's a movie. You got to go back to Kevin's house for that. Get out of here. But no. Yeah, I agree. I do tend to like this movie over Madman. Madman's a great movie for me, but like I understand where you're coming at. Now it was.
I don't think you do.
Jeez.
I'm thinking you're not fucking
so
understanding.
She's still so angry. But so it was Troma that brought this to me because they released the director's cut with much more gore, as far as I know. Also, you always with all these Troma movies, you get an intro from Lloyd Kaufman before the movie starts, and I love that. Like, you gotta. Now, all of our movies, like I keep repeating because I'm putting out a free plug for Troma because I ain't got that much money. Free plug for Troma, but like all of our movies this month are on Troma Now, the Troma Now app.
Yes.
So go watch it on there. But like, you should also invest in the Blu-ray or the DVD copy of this movie because it has the intros from Lloyd Kaufman and a lot of special features they throw in there. It's good stuff. But yeah, that's how I found this because at one point in my life I was digesting anything under the Troma flag, man. Which you like I said, you can do now with Troma Now. It's Troma, but now. Anyway, all right, plug over. To me, Graduation Day is just a run-of-the-mill fun slasher. It has enough of the quirks to set it apart from the rest, but not any of the negatives to make it a drag to watch. It's a good time, and it should be in more people's rotation for slasher marathons. I think this fits nicely with any slasher movie marathon you want to have. Everything's extremely competent. Acting is pretty good. I don't see the bad acting. I think it's fine. I mean, John Fogerty there at the end was a little much, but he's not bad for what this movie is.
Right.
It's not bad acting. It just seems like everybody knows why they're there. And even except for fucking George Michaels, he's the angriest one in this whole entire movie. But even the reveal of the killer is kind of a surprise, I guess. Not for me, but for you. You got genuinely surprised at who's the killer. That's all there is to it. It's a good time. I mean, you could read between the lines and say there's like undertones of fucking whatever to this movie.
Like we said, you can make it what you want.
I have read the most craziest theory about this movie that someone had to been doing like some weed or something to come up with this because they were like, well, if you notice, the killer uses the time clock. And isn't every teenager just running out the time? Isn't that what what every teenager really faces in life is time. They don't have time left. Even the tagline of the movie is the kids of the 80s don't have time left.
What?
I'm like, okay, man. This is not a philosophical argument inside of this graduation day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you can read anything you want into this movie, and I think that goes with whatever Herb Fried was trying to do with those little plot threads.
Yes.
But anyway, enough of me pleasuring this fucking movie. What did you think about 1981's Graduation Day?
I loved it. It was one of my favorite ones. And I said what I needed to say about
I said what I said.
I did. I meant what I said when I said, you do not compare this. How dare you compare this to that fucking garbage movie, Madman?
I said what I said, sir. Good day to you.
I said good day.
Madman is an abomination.
But that was my thought before we had this podcast. So let me put it that way. Okay?
Shit. Did I change your mind?
You did not change my mind.
Oh, no, this is fun.
No. You did not change my mind. But I am open to learning new things. And there was a lot of plot holes in this, like a lot of plot that just dropped out. And that was my biggest complaint about Madman. Was like, there's a lot of plot that just drops out as pointless. And there's a little bit of that in this.
There is a few things. Yeah, there is a few things that you're like, can you expand on that? But you don't want like a 3-hour fucking graduation day.
No. But it wasn't as ridiculous as fucking Madman.
Boy, you did not like that movie. I think that's the biggest surprise I've gotten since we did The Thing, which... One of these days we'll do a reappraisal of The Thing. We won't do a whole episode based on The Thing, but we got to do one of these episodes where maybe I have you watch all these ones you hated, and then we come back and talk about it. Yeah, we'll do that sometime. But I'm happy you enjoyed Graduation Day. I think this is a fun fucking movie. Oh yeah, you gotta see it if you haven't. And like I said, you can see it now for $5 a month, first week free on Troma Now.
Do it.
The Troma app. It's worth it. You can get it on Roku now. I know it's not available on Xbox or anywhere else, but you can get it on your phone. You can get it on Roku. You can play it on your computer. I think that's probably good. Everybody has a Roku nowadays.
Well, if you don't, you should.
You should. You should. Now, next week.
Oh, God.
We're going to prison.
Yay, I like prison.
That's right. We're going to prison. We're going to Hell Block 13, another Troma title under the banner. And I'm not going to tell you what this is about, but I know we're going to prison. And I don't know. I don't know what you're going to think about this movie.
Is there rape?
I can't wait for you to watch this.
Now I'm scared.
anyway, so until next week when we go to prison and hopefully don't get fisted, I'm Lee Evans saying stay spooky.
And I'm Brittany. Stay horrific.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. To get a hold of us and submit your stories, fan mail, and death threats, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and nightofthehorrorfile.com. Our theme song was written and performed by John Brennan, used with permission. Find John at shopjb.bandcamp.com and at badtechno.com. If you like what you hear, leave a good review wherever you listen to podcasts, and share the show on your social media. See you next week.